And the floors on these people's houses that keep filming these things are so freaking clean. It just,
You didn't see any dust bunnies?
no, like, we could not film this at my house. If we ever decide to do this, it's going to have to be at your house.
Or have lots of high angle shots instead of lots of
Yes.
low angle
Even the
shots?
ceilings probably have cobwebs in my house. I'm like, look at.
Welcome to the Scary Spirits Podcast. Please be advised that the presenters may use adult language and or discuss adult situations. This podcast is not intended for younger listeners or those that may be easily offended. So, if you're ready, let's go.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Hey, everyone, I'm Karen.
And welcome to Scary Spirits Podcast presents reviews, where typically we review a film which is currently in the theaters for those people of you who like to go get your popcorn or streaming somewhere.
Where you have to make your own damn popcorn.
Which couldn't be better, I guess. You put all kinds of flavorings in it. You can make your own gourmet popcorn. But we're getting off subject, Karen.
Like, wow, you're going on a tangent, which are all linked in our. That would have been good if we had like all the different flavors linked to Amazon.
So, Karen, would you like to tell all our friends and listeners what film we are reviewing this week?
Well, we're reviewing a short horror film called, and I'm very excited about this, Shoes.
Yes, Karen, the director / producer of the film reached out to us and said, "Hey, I got this low budget horror short called Shoes with my 9-year-old son. He and I did this, and it's now on Troma Entertainment VOD service, Troma Now. Hope I'm saying that right. And I sent you a message saying, hey, Karen, you want to review this film called Shoes?"
Well, yeah, of course. If you've listened to our podcast at all, you know I like shoes.
Yeah, that's what she said. Well, duh, it's called Shoes.
That'd be like, Greg, you want to review this horror short called Fire? So we said yes.
So James Watchin, hope I'm saying that right too, who messaged us, sent us a private link to view the film. And it's a horror short film. It's, what is it, Karen, 2.5 minutes long?
Yeah, it's amazingly short for the amount of things that are in it.
And so, yeah, I said we'd watch it. And it's been accepted at all kinds of film festivals and things like that, including just recently the Strange Days Film Festival and the Global Film Exposition and Gore Fest and Tuesday of Horror and all these independent film festivals.
Well, that's very cool.
And apparently it's selected as like some finalist or something in this Strange Days one, the most recent one, because he kind of sent us a little update.
I've never watched a film like this before.
You mean a short?
Well, this short that wasn't like animation or stop action or, documentary kind of thing.
True.
I didn't even know they made horror films this short. So this was eye-opening in a good way for me.
And he is working on a new one, a new short, and he's started a GoFundMe page for it. So
we'll try to link all that stuff in the show notes on the website and maybe in some social media posts if possible. I'm digging it. I think it's cool to support people like this.
I do too. I'm all for supporting local artists, musicians,
independent,
whatever.
Yeah.
Independent, yeah. Me too. I'm all for that.
So,
and I especially a father-son thing like this, right?
I knew you'd like that.
Well, I'm a father with a son who used to be 9 years old at one point.
Exactly. And probably played with Legos. No, really?
Not so much, but we shared other things. So yeah, I get it. I thought that was a cool thing, which So this film apparently stars the director, producer, and his 9-year-old son. They did this together.
Which is also cool. Yeah,
And
like
he
you
lists
said.
them. He lists it in his message to us. He says, "I'm co-creator of this low-budget horror short called Shoes with my 9-year-old son."
Very cool.
And he calls it in his message to us a paranormal tale with suspenseful twists.
I would agree with that.
So he asked us to check it out. And we said, well, I said, yeah, hell yeah. It's called Shoes.
Yeah, that's why you wanted to do it.
And so he sent us a link. So where do you want to start, Karen?
Well, we don't want to give everything away,
No, it's
which is
hard
what we
not
don't. We
to,
don't.
because
I
it's
know,
only
which-
2.5 minutes long.
So when we review things, we try not to give too much away. I mean, we
Yeah,
can
if it's
start
not
like
a-
we usually do.
Yeah, if it's not a film from like the 60s or 70s or whatever.
Right.
If it's something fair, like new or whatever,
I mean, I'll start. I'll tell you at first, I was like, they better not ruin Shoes for me.
that's true.
I was like, at first I was like, well, yeah, it's called Shoes. And then I was like, oh shit, it's called Shoes.
Yeah, what if it scared you so much you didn't
Yeah.
want to buy any more shoes?
Buy any more fancy shoes or wear shoes. Like I only wear flip-flops now or something. So it does not do that, which is good. I will say, and you brought it up already, that it's the father-son team. They are very relaxed together in this movie. I thought that was excellent in their acting. They don't, if you're on social media at all, you've seen all those fake videos where people are pretending something's happening. And it's so obvious that it's scripted, that they're just acting out whatever they want you to believe is happening. This is so relaxed. You can tell they have a bond together. You don't even see them together, but you can tell they're very comfortable. Either they're really great actors, which they could be, or they just have that relationship already and they just kind of filmed their life a little bit,
Yeah.
which I really liked,
I agree.
because it didn't seem forced at all, ever. It didn't seem unnatural, or it didn't seem like that wasn't his son, or, that he doesn't normally go in the house and sit down and watch TV, or, all of those things, very natural.
Yes.
I was impressed by that. There's attention to detail. There's some little clues in there. I don't know if you noticed the poster in the bedroom. It was an imposter poster,
I did see the poster.
which I thought was, little details. There's probably more that I missed.
I don't know how it relates to anything, but I did see it now that you mentioned it.
I'll explain it to you after we're done. I
Good.
liked how they took a simple object like shoes that everyone has in their home, most people, and made it into a horror
I think pretty much
situation.
everybody has shoes in their home, Karen.
Yes. But not everybody likes to wear them. But it made shoes, which is something very normal.
Maybe not as many as you.
No, no one has as many as me. Into a horror situation, or a paranormal situation, I guess would be the right
Mhm.
word. They didn't go out of their way to find something, some cursed object, or, something,
True.
some monster hiding in a closet that you didn't, alien, it's shoes. It's something that you have every day, and everybody has, even little babies.
I agree.
They don't use them, but they have them. And there aren't that many things like that where every single person has them.
It is. It's a good original idea.
Yes.
Right? That's basically what you're saying right there.
In that very long-winded. Is that what you're trying? I don't like your tone, Greg.
Shoes.
Shoes. But everybody has them.
They do.
It's like picking underwear or something, or I don't know, like something that everyone, well, see, not everybody even wears underwear. So there you go. Shoes is a good one. I will say, and if you listen to the podcast, it definitely has sequel potential,
Yep, it does. I agree.
and it has a small cast, which I like
Which
too.
you like. Yes, it does.
Because I could keep track of who was who in it.
Yeah, you
So-
don't even have to know their names, right? It's just father, son, right?
Exactly. But still so normal.
True.
And when
I
we
think
were,
I think my tone would have been a little more harsh than his, though, when talking to his son. But
well, maybe that was the first
I
time.
might have said,
Here's
"Hey!"
the thing. It was probably the first time he asked him to go downstairs and pick up the Legos. By the time you get to the
Was
fifth or
it?
sixth time,
Oh,
your
he
voice
filmed the
has,
first time.
yes,
Okay.
he filmed the first time. But the thing that's a little unbelievable was the first time.
How many times do I got to tell you to get downstairs and pick up them
Yeah, and the kid
Legos?
went down the first time. I'm going to tell you that's the most unbelievable thing in the whole movie is he didn't have to scream. He just said, "Hey, go down there,
Or
buddy."
the kid didn't like say anything, like, because I remember telling my son many times, if you spend as much time arguing with me about getting out of doing something, you could have been done by now.
That's a classic.
Right? Whatever. Maybe it's just me.
Or,
and my
oh,
son.
was it me who made the mess with the Legos? I think maybe it was you. Is there anything I missed? Anything else you really liked?
I thought the music was good.
Agree.
Suspenseful.
Was it original?
Don't know.
Hmm.
It's probably, if it's not original, it's probably open source or something.
Yeah, but it fit well.
Yeah. Suspenseful. Good. I thought the shoes were good.
Well cast.
Yeah, they were well cast. That's a good term. Because at one point I made a note that, the tongues of the shoes that come up, is that what it's called? The tongue.
Mm-hmm.
If you put the two together, it almost looked like two eyes looking. You know what I mean?
I didn't notice that, but I can see how it would be.
Yeah. I don't know if if they planned that or just happened, but that was a good choice of shoes. They were well cast. Exactly, Karen.
Well, they were used. They weren't just a pair of shoes that they bought at the store. It was obvious they were well-loved shoes.
And we see several different pairs of shoes in this,
Yeah.
but there's only one pair of shoes. Right?
Well, we don't know. That's the thing.
I know. It's pretty quick. I need to watch it again. To see if it's the same shoes. And
I tried to see if it was the same shoes and I couldn't tell because they were facing different directions when we
True.
see them. So I couldn't exactly tell, which I think might be part of the mystery.
okay. See that.
Which brings me to, there are things that I liked, but I also didn't like. And I'm sure it's made this way to make you feel this way, to elicit this reaction, right? It does leave you guessing, is it the same pair of shoes? And I realize you have to watch the 2.5 minutes to understand what we're talking about, but I'm not sure. So I have questions, as I like to say.
That's about to say, Karen. I have questions.
And
I have questions too.
It's too short in that I wanted it to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to understand what was happening. And that's exactly what they want.
I wanted to know who was talking, who was answering Dad from the basement.
Right. Well, and I think that's part of the paranormal part of it.
Yeah.
Because, and I will say the kid is a very good actor too.
Yes.
He looked in each scene how he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Without giving anything away. But they both, we did talk about their relation, but they're both believable characters. There's nothing unbelievable about.
In one scene, I thought there could have been more special effects, but other than that,
yes, a little bit, but we don't know what
his acting was fine.
Right.
But
we didn't know what happened there, so we don't know. That's part of the question.
Yeah.
So too short, but I'm getting exactly the reaction that they want me to get. I want it to be longer. I want to know what's happening. I want to know what comes next. I want it's like a cliffhanger at the end of a series where you see it and you go, but what?
Yep.
Oh, I have to wait,
especially
before streaming, you'd have to wait.
If the shoes are upstairs, who is answering from downstairs?
Exactly. So I'm impressed. I will say that because it started off, I knew it was only 2.5 minutes and there's a little bit of an intro to it. And I'm thinking, geez, how are they going to get me involved in 2.5 minutes? In really 2 minutes and 15 seconds? How are they going to do that? And they did. I'm intrigued by the whole thing. I would like to watch more of these. I just like the creativity. I like when I see things and I go, damn, people are so creative. Why am I not creative? Greg, why are we not making short films? What the
Karen,
hell? Because we can't act nice to each
no,
other.
Karen, I believe we were just earlier in our conversation before we were recording. I believe I told you how creative you were, didn't I?
Yeah, but I'm talking about when we always joke that we could make movies. Couldn't we make a movie that was 2 minutes long? It's creative from start to finish. The idea is creative. The filming is creative with the music and the shoot, everything. The ending is creative. The whole thought process is intriguing to me. I'm impressed.
And we should say it's shot basically on a cell phone.
It's what it looks like. But the quality's fine. And the floors on these people's houses that keep filming these things are so freaking clean.
You didn't see any dust bunnies?
No, we could not film this at my house. If we ever decide to do this, it's going to have to be at your house.
Or have lots of high angle shots instead of lots of low angle shots.
Even the ceilings probably have cobwebs in my house. I'm like, look at, but the floors creaked just like my parents' house floors creak. It was,
that's probably natural, right?
Yes, but it added to, it was just, it reminded me a lot of where we grew up, that house and the yard, the front yards and the streets. And
Karen, you didn't see the front yard. You didn't see the street. You're imagining what it looks like in your head.
You saw 2 signs in the front yard. Rocking chair on the porch.
Oh, that's true. We did, didn't we?
Yes. You kind of get the sense of where you are. You're definitely not in the city.
True.
You're in the suburbs. And just the way the house had the little porch area and then the creaking floors.
It does kind of remind me of the first house I remember we lived in. Oh, I agree.
It just brought back childhood to me a little bit. That's where we come from.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention apparently, Karen, to the house, but I'm watching it as we speak. So yes.
Well, you probably didn't have to avoid the squeaky floors when you were sneaking in late at your house. See, because you didn't have a curfew like me.
Not when I was in kindergarten, Karen, because that's when we lived in that
Well,
house.
you should have, because look how you turned out. Your mom needs talking to.
So explain to me the imposter poster. What do I need to know about that?
It goes back to your question. Who is answering from the basement? If what we saw we are to believe, could it be Greg?
And the poster kind of looks like a Cylon or something, if anyone remembers what that is.
It could be an imposter. And he's playing with an alien like clay figure.
Could be an alien. Yeah. Think from another world. Poster kind of looks like that too, or something, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well thought out from start to finish, I think.
Assuming
simple.
They planned that out. Yeah.
I'm sure when you make a movie, when you take a photograph, you look at everything that's in the frame, or you try to remember to do that. So I'm sure if you're making a movie, you do the same. You go, oh, there was a dust bunny in there. Gotta reshoot.
Anything you didn't like?
No, just like I said, it's a little frustrating because you don't know the answers and you want to. And it's too short because you don't get the answers that you want. But those are all things that are inherently planned. It's to make you have that reaction.
It is well shot. I'm saying, just watching it again, it's well shot. How they go from scene to scene. And the only thing I wrote down watching it the first time was like the thing I mentioned where the point where there could have been some more special effects. There wasn't enough for me. Maybe
they erred on the side of not looking cheap or cheesy. They didn't want to use hammer blood. Or so, I don't know.
Well, there's lots of good recipes out there for blood now, Karen. Just saying.
Well, it's also a 9-year-old. Maybe he doesn't want to freak him out. I don't know. I agree. I think there could have been, but then is that part of the Izzy or
it doesn't
isn't
have to
he?
be. That's true.
It could be part of the mystery.
Could be.
Because there's not enough there to form an opinion of what actually happened. So we don't know.
True.
I assumed one thing, but it could just be.
Could be something completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
And if there were more special effects, then you would have a definite answer. Whereas this way, you're still, oh, is it? Isn't it?
Yeah, because it could have been the boy answering.
Could have, but if something happened like we assumed happened, or even a version of that, you don't think he would calmly reply from the basement at that point. I think that's the whole gist of it.
All right, Karen, how many cocktails should we give this horror short? Shoes.
Oh, I like how you say that.
I know. You want to give it one just because I said shoes.
Shoes. That's my love language. Shoes. I think it's a 2. I really enjoyed it. And not just because it's called Shoes. Well done.
I don't disagree. I might give it 2.5 or a 3, but I'm okay with giving it a 2.
I think I'm just overly excited because it's the first one I've seen.
Because you're the expert on shoes.
No,
So
I'm not. I just like
I'm
them.
going to follow your lead.
Let's give it a 2. We probably should give it a 3 because if we watch more, that gives us more leeway in what we want.
2 minutes long, though.
I know, but it's like grading papers where you're extra hard on the first one so that you can gauge all the others in relation to it. So I'm just going to go with a 2. I was impressed by it.
Okay. We'll go with a 2.
I like how you acquiesce to me.
As I do.
As you should. So basically, I think what we're saying is 1, support independent filmmakers whenever you can. 2, this one's
artists.
a good. Yeah. This is a good one to start with if you haven't seen these types of films before. We'll get a link, put them in the show notes so that you can see it. It's 2.5 minutes of your time.
Actually, 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
2 minutes and 13 seconds. So it might spark some creativity in you. And if nothing else, you get to watch someone else's project that should inspire you, I think. I think we could do this, Greg. But we would make one, it would be nowhere near this good. It would be bad.
Well, that
My
depends on
idea.
how well you can take direction, Karen.
Well, that's why I said it would be bad. And they've already used I've got nothing else, shoes. That's pretty much it. So we can't even do that one. But yeah, check it out.
I'd see if I can make your head spin around a few times and things.
Yeah. My old lady neck would really appreciate that. Thanks. That wouldn't hurt at all. Yeah, so go check it out. We had fun watching it, and we really appreciate being sent the link to check it out.
Yeah, it's by Tooth Brain Productions. And they have started a GoFundMe page where he's going to do another short sometime early this year, I guess. So
we'll try to put that link in there too,
yeah,
if you're
I'll
feeling
try to
generous.
get that, and you can support this. I don't know if his son is involved in the second one, but you would think so, probably. He might be
Some way.
freaking
He's probably the
mastermind.
brains. He's the brains behind the whole thing, probably. You know, the 9-year-old.
Wouldn't shock me, Karen.
No, Dad, you press this button to edit.
From the mouth of babes. So check out the link in our show notes and give it a watch.
Yeah, if you come up with a drink, you should have had a shot that you had to drink within the 2 minutes before it finished. I'm sure there's a drink called Shoes somewhere. Support independent, support local, support us. We're independent and local to some people.
Yeah. Anything else, Karen?
Please drink responsibly.
Yes.
Hey, it's Karen, and I'm here to talk to you about getting social with us. Did you know you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Scary Spirits Podcast? Or check out our website, scaryspirits.com. If you have something to say, email us at info@scaryspirits.com. And as always, thanks so much for listening. Please drink responsibly.